Now to Capitol Hill, where Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene took her shot. She put forward a motion to remove House Speaker Mike Johnson. It went nowhere fast. The House voted to table the motion. Also on the Hill Wednesday, leaders from 3 of the largest public school systems in the United States pushed back against lawmakers on Capitol Hill that accused them of tolerating anti-Semitism. Previous hearings have focused on anti-Semitism on university campuses, but this is the first to focus on K-12 education. The school officials were asked about several specific incidents over the past few months. Following a heated exchange with the House Education Subcommittee, David Banks, the New York City Public Schools chancellor, referred to the hearing as a gotcha moment.
This convening for too many people across America in education feels like the ultimate gotcha moment. It doesn't sound like people who are actually trying to solve for something that I believe we should be doing everything we can to solve for.
Before the hearing started, the mayor of Washington, D.C. and the police chief were scheduled to separately testify on Capitol Hill regarding anti-Semitism and pro-Palestinian protests at George Washington University. That was canceled after the mayor allowed police to clear the encampment on that campus, ending a 2-week standoff. 33 people were arrested. CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion joins us now for all the action. Nikole, first, in case people blinked, because that was about as long as it lived, let's talk about that motion to vacate from Marjorie Taylor Greene before we get to the hearing on anti-Semitism. What happened? Well, we'll just start there. What happened?
Yeah, well, it kind of came out of the blue, and it didn't come out of the blue. I mean, clearly, Congresswoman Greene telegraphed last week that she intended to call that motion to vacate this week. But then she met with Speaker Johnson both Monday and Tuesday, along with Kentucky Republican Tom Massie, Arizona Republican Paul Gosar. She emerged from those meetings late yesterday saying that the ball was in Speaker Mike Johnson's court, that she was going to give him some space to kind of digest some of the ideas that she had put forth in terms of how she would like to see him lead as Speaker. Now, at that time, I asked her if she had a timetable, if she was going to rule out calling up that motion to vacate this week, and she didn't rule it out. And what we saw emerge or transpire on the House floor Wednesday evening is that she went forward with that motion to vacate, but it was quickly slapped down by House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, who introduced a motion to table. And so because of that, her motion was not successful. It looks like the Speaker is coming by. Speaker Johnson, are you concerned Congresswoman Greene will bring this up again, sir?
There we go, live television. Exactly the question to ask, which leads me to my next one. What do we think is next on this front, Nikole?
Well, again, I mean, I think that is the big question because, again, the Congresswoman also hasn't ruled out potentially bringing up this again, although it's clear that there is not the appetite, as I started to say before the Speaker walked by. In terms of that motion to table, it was something, again, introduced not by Democrats who did put out there that they would potentially table her motion if she brought it up. But, again, that was brought up by Majority Leader Steve Scalise, and it was supported overwhelmingly. I believe the final tally was 359 to 43 or so. You know, I'll have to check my math. There were 7 who voted present. But anyway, an overwhelming vote to table her measure. So whether or not there's going to be the appetite to go through this exercise over and over again, it doesn't seem that there is that desire. Furthermore, the House is due to recess for the rest of the week. So we will have to see potentially when they come back if this continues to be a thing. But at least for now, Congresswoman Greene's motion has been defeated.
Now, thank you very much, Nikole, not to let us distract from the important issues of the day, which is you talked to Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, who of New York, who was at the hearing on anti-Semitism. Let's listen to what she told you.
It's not a gotcha moment. Ask Jewish students, ask Jewish families across this country. This is impacting their safety and security. You're having families who are not able to go to commencement ceremonies because they've been canceled. You have a lack of action of these senior level positions, whether it's the chancellor of the New York City Public Schools or whether it's university presidents like Harvard and Penn, who are now former. So no, it's about results, and it's about making sure that all students are protected, particularly the Jewish students who have been under assault in many cases since October 7th.
And just to remind viewers, it was the New York school chancellor who said it was a gotcha moment in that hearing. Nikole, what are lawmakers hoping to achieve with these representatives coming from these school districts?
Yeah, that's right. And worth noting that Congresswoman Stefanik had a pretty pointed exchange with the school's chancellor, particularly over an incident involving a Queens high school where a Jewish teacher was targeted, and the principal of that school, rather than being removed from the school system, was just reassigned within the district. And so Stefanik asked a number of pointed questions about what he is doing and why, and other lawmakers, for that matter, also inquired why he has not that principal has not been terminated. So that was certainly one flashpoint during this hearing. Of course, we heard from administrators not just from New York City public schools, but also from Berkeley, California, as well as Montgomery County, Maryland. And also worth pointing out that there were a number of parents and students at this hearing as well, many of whom that I talked to who said this is a real concern. You know, the Anti-Defamation League has found that there have been at least 246 anti-Semitic incidences in K through 12 schools since October 7th through about the beginning of this year. So they say that this is a real concern. And we heard that concern echoed from both sides of the aisle, both from Democrats and Republicans, in terms of what may be transpiring. Certainly, maybe it's not on the level of what we have seen on college campuses, but it is something that can't be ignored as well.
Nikole Killion showing us beautifully what it's like to cover politics on the Hill, where it's always happening. Nikole, thank you.